So the other day I talked about conformity and what are the different types of conformity? Well, there are three types of conformity: compliance, identification, and internalization. Compliance obviously being the shallowest form of conformity and occurs when you publicly change your feelings, beliefs, and behaviors, but not privately. Example, when you went to someone's house and you know we're all vegetarians, so you didn't eat meat just to fit in, even though you like it. And then there's identification, which involves both the public and private changing of feelings, beliefs, and behaviors, but only when in the presence of a specific social group. Like, prime example, you see all these self-proclaimed patriots say, "Oh, go and be civil war," because they're unhappy with the politicians creating and passing unconstitutional uh, laws. And rightfully so. They have a right to be pissed off. Yet again, I'm going to say that again. They have every right to be pissed off at them. But still, they conform. They've conformed to these laws. They comply, and then they turn around, they say, will not comply when a new law has been introduced or passed. As an example, you can say that you're a vegetarian and because of a whole group is, but when I go home for holidays, I eat meat. Personally, I eat meat. This just using as an example. When it comes to food, I eat meat. Love steaks, chicken, salmon, catfish, all that. Sometimes I like to eat some salad, country coleslaw, and all that kind of stuff. Just the variety of things. But anyways, this differs from compliance as I don't know which this author was trying to say. In the group, your private views change. Lastly, identification is the deepest form of conformity, which leads me to internalization. Deep and private change in behavior and personal views, which is basically internalization. It involves changing our behavior also internally as we believe in the viewpoint of the group. It is deep conformity. Now, you have 10 everyday life examples of conformity. Following rules, greetings, cues. Following fashion, you see it in Hollywood. Perfect example. Changing eating habits and all that. Education and career, that's another good example. Marriage, attending parties, in class, adopting habits. See, the thing is, we've all conformed, and some people say, "Oh, I haven't conformed to anything." Well, you have. Anyways, identification is usually based on information, whereas compliance is based on social factors like wanting to fit in and all that. So I had to talk about this, and of course, I'm going to talk about these things further, you know, because this needs to be talked about. This needs to be addressed more than anything, because it's not just, conformity is another problem in the 2A community. So, anyways, yeah, it's like this, folks. There is compliance conformity, identification conformity, and then internalization conformity. Oh, it doesn't end there. See, the thing is, we've already conformed to something, to laws. And then, of course, you got these self-proclaimed patriots going around, oh, as long as it doesn't happen to me and it doesn't affect me, I'm good. But the thing is, it does affect you. When the government violates one person's rights, that's a rights violation of everyone's rights. It violates everyone's rights. You need to have that mentality. Now, like prime example, I've heard and seen people say, oh, well, as long as it happens over there, you know, with these red flag raids, it doesn't affect me. It just doesn't affect me. But the thing is, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it happened to you or didn't. It still affects you. It does. It really does. Now the question is, are you going to fight the powers that be when they come a knocking? Because I plan on doing so. I plan on doing it. That's for sure. But the thing is, we've all complied. We've all conformed to something. Could be fashion. You know, to, you know, rules. We've conformed to pretty much everything. That's what, you know, that's conformity is another problem in the 2A community. It's not just, of course, people spewing out cognitive dissonance. That's another problem. Being patient and, let's see, complacency. You got complacency, people spewing cognitive dissonance, and conforming. Those are the biggest problems in the 2A community. You know, at the end of the day, the same people who say will not comply in reference to, you know, the politicians who just made, you know, or passed unconstitutional laws, they say will not comply, but in the end, they will. That's a fact, Jack. You can talk about the wolves and sheep and sheepdog speech all you want. But who are the wolves? Who are the sheep? And who are the sheepdogs? I can't see any sheepdogs around here. I don't see any sheepdogs. And besides, a wolf protects its territory. That's what a wolf does. A wolf, the same thing that a bear does, protects its territory. Like a rattlesnake, you know those rattlesnakes, you know the rattlesnake on the Gadsden flag, it protects its territory. That's a fact.